If you had been exploring around the startup area already, maybe you saw some robots in there. This year, I think we have more than ever before at this event. They are a really interesting thing that we are seeing more and more of, right? A lot of our warehouses and production facilities have small robots in them, and now some of them have humanoid-type robots, right? Ones that look like a human. They're exciting to see, right? I don't have one on stage for you right now, I'm sorry to say, but I do have an incredible partnership to bring up of people that have been working on this exact thing and creating something incredible. Please help me welcome to this stage Jochen, the Chief Growth and Revenue Officer at Humanoid, and with him, Christian, the VP of Advanced Automation Technologies at Schaeffler. Welcome to the stage.
Well, thank you for this kind introduction. Of course, it's a pleasure to be here on stage together with Jochen from Humanoid.
Thank you.
And we want to bring and share with you why this combination of industrialization expertise at Schaeffler and cutting-edge capabilities when it comes to robotics at Humanoids can make the difference to accelerate humanoids in production plants worldwide. I do believe that you do not see this statement for the very first time, but for me it's always super astonishing how this simple statement describes such a profound implication on global manufacturing industry. I mean, we as Schaeffler, we have 100 production plants worldwide, and we do understand or do see the operational challenges throughout the different plants. But first of all, before we dive deeper into the next 10 minutes, so it will be 5 minutes for Schaeffler, 5 minutes for Humanoid, where we share our joint ambitions as well also our individual visions for physical AI and humanoid deployments. A short impression footage of a first deployment together with Humanoid, and of course the star of the show is the wheeled alpha of Humanoid. And the picture speaks for themselves. So this is an automation task which we have many at Schaeffler. It's a unloading, it's a bin picking of unsorted parts, rings in this case, for further processing, whether it comes to automation, to assembly lines, or processing in terms of grinding and honing. And of course, there's no good presentation with a short company introduction. We already had Schaeffler on stage. There will also be a colleague of mine speaking after me. I try to keep it very crisp, but for me it's of importance to share with you that we understand ourselves as the leading motion technology company. So Schaeffler has, since decades, it should be around 80 years, driving groundbreaking innovations when it comes to motion, making motion more efficient, more reliable, sustainable, but also intelligent over the entire life cycle. So we understand ourselves as the reliable partner when it comes to motion technology. And that's also why we structured our product portfolio at Schaeffler. You might know that it's quite a broad one into different motion areas. Just to name a few of them, it's drive motion, it's transmit motion, it's control motion, always with the specific relation of the product to motion. And of course, due to time constraints, and I can already feel now the pressure on my neck, I try to keep to limit it to that, and would like to invite you to approach me after my short presentation, whether the motion technology area is of interest for you. To save some time, also to share our strategic ambition with you, and this will be also then the bridge to the humanoids. So by 2030, Schaeffler aims to be the top motion technology company. And that means a top 3 leading global company in each of our core divisions. You see it here with e-mobility, powertrain and chassis, vehicle lifetime solutions, and bearings and industrial solutions. And of course, and that's why we are here, and that's why we have this partnership with Humanoid, is that we will unlock the market potential of new growth opportunities, like battery, like hydrogen, and like humanoids. And of course, I try to build this humanoid bridge for myself, because in the background, you can now see our Schaeffler's commitment when it comes to the deployment and usage of humanoids and physical AI. So basically, you have these 4 domains of humanoid user, being an integrator, a system and component supplier, but also lifetime solution provider. And the good thing is that each of these fields will benefit from the experiences and learnings of the others, thus creating a very strong flywheel that accelerates the learnings and developments of the deployments itself, but also our component development for the products. And as you can imagine, I mentioned Schaeffler, 100 production plants worldwide, so it's a significant production footprint. We have to tackle a lot of operational challenges on a global scale when it comes to efficiency, flexibility, shortage of highly skilled labors. And of course, there are certain ways to tackle those problems, but the most powerful and the one I would like to focus on is automation. And at Schaeffler, building basically on decades of building flexible and scalable automation lines and automation solutions, we have a rather robust foundation to now enter a new era with partner like Humanoids. My colleague will also introduce an additional partnership, an era which is then driven not by the automation only, but by physical AI and embodied AI deployments. And one thing is clear, and I believe that most of you know better than me, that the use case data will be the currency, the most important asset to drive this change. So we at Schaeffler, you see an excerpt of the basic robot skills, which we foster and we're training at the moment, by capturing the real-world production data in our plants, complementing it with synthetic data. Training robots, robotic skills in simulation environments is basically the baseline we need and have to be able to accelerate the adoption of the technology in our plants. And that means acceleration and adoption of this technology rather sounds like a hollow phrase in the beginning, but with decades of dealing with production and are trying to answer the question, how does flexible and efficient and scalable production work? This is the chance to turn our operational excellence now really into a competitive advantage and tangible business for us. And with that said, I would like to hand over to Jochen and also the presenter for your part.
Thank you so much, Christian. Also for leaving me at least 3 minutes. So, for the ones who have not been here last year, who are we? We are Humanoid, a humanoid robotics company, as the name suggests. 2 years young or old, born in the AI age, with an incredible track record, already over 250 people and lots of offices around the world to grab the best AI talent in the Bay Area, for example, in Boston, because we onboarded a lot of people from Boston Dynamics. To make up a bit for the time, let me show you our focus. So you've seen the wheeled platform. We do not believe in bipedals for now, particularly not in the industrial space. And we are very, very industrial focused. Clients, customers, partners like Schaeffler or other logistics, supply chain, manufacturing, automotive customers, they are our stakeholders. This is our product, the Alpha prototype. Until now, in around 6 to 8 weeks, we come out with the next version, the beta. The Alpha has already superhuman capabilities, 2.20 meters high, a bit faster than a human being, 15 kilograms of payload. The next beta is obviously faster, even stronger when it comes to payload. Has also battery swaps, so there's a clear improvement, as you can see here. What have we done? I mentioned industrial focus. We've done with a lot of Fortune 500 clients already. Schaeffler, the first one, where we met actually pretty much a year ago, exactly here at a Startup Autobahn event. Also, we met with Ford here, so it's really a great venue to bring companies together with startups and scale-ups. And we have done, in the logistics space, quite some use cases. We have done body parts handling, even in automotive. We have lately done with Bosch a really interesting use case as well, with the first time our integration layer, so the robot scanned the QR code, the WMS, told also the robot what to do with the box, for example. And the signature use cases, obviously, with Schaeffler. How do we see the way forward? What is our roadmap? simplify this graphic. On the left-hand side, a very, very simple task, like big object manipulation, like pick up a box. On the right-hand side, the very dexterous tasks, soft objects, small objects, down to computer chips, for example. We are right now between phase 2 and 3, so kitting, picking, sortation, machine feeding, machine operation. That is something we are doing already today, as you have seen also in the other videos. So I made a bit up for the time, and maybe now handing over to our
We want to share our roadmap with the audience.
Right now? Okay, let's do it right now.
One more second. So of course, what we share with you, that's why we're here on stage, and that's what we're very proud of. We have developed a roadmap which has some history, and that was before my time.
Yeah.
So, Jochen, if you can share with the audience.
Definitely, with pleasure. So I just celebrated yesterday my first year anniversary with the company, and that was also the moment when we met actually here around the Startup Autobahn event, as mentioned during the presentation already, and had like the first introductions, and from their site visits and use case explorations, etc. And we are really proud that only half a year later, we had the pleasure to announce already our strategic partnership together with Schaeffler. We met the owner, Mr. Schaeffler. We met, obviously, the CEO, the board. We have been part of the CES. So there was a great alignment already from the beginning. Hence, we are standing also here today. But why don't you take over from here?
Yeah, very good. So if you can remember this flywheel I introduced, so we're working basically on 4 main domains, and that's what is also reflected in the partnership with Humanoid, which means we are working on agreements for deployments of the embodiments in our manufacturing facilities, as well as be a strategic component supplier for Humanoid. And this will lead us then to our deployment in our plant in Schweinfurt. So the footage you have already seen from the first tryouts. So the wheeled units for bin picking of rings and feeding to storage and buffer tables. And also with the chance of having the wheeled option to do a multi-machine operation, leading us to an outlook. I put there 2027 plus. It's of course also then beyond 2030 to have the deployment and implementation of more than 1,000 robots, human-like, humanoids, robots in our production facilities on a global scale. A strong commitment, we are proud of it. Thank you, Jochen.
Me as well. Thank you for the partnership.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us this great insights into your journey. For us, this is really a powerful signal for partnering with startups and how this accelerates innovation. And this represents a win-win model for how to create value through strong partnerships with industry leaders. That's why we from Plug and Play are delighted to recognize this with one of the fastest transition from strategic discussions to commercial deployment in humanoid robotics. So congratulations to the success to Humanoid and Schaeffler. And here we hand over the manufacturing award.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We have it. And of course, it's not the success of myself. It's rather a team effort, team success. So I would like to ask also Astrid, who is with me today on stage. You will see her later on in a different presentation. But just as we get the chance to make a picture together.
Of course.
Jochen, let's...